Due to the genius of our architect and engineer, our house is held to its foundation about as well as Auntie M's before Dorothy left for Oz. So our $33,000 architectural plans called for a 3/4 inch anchor bolt to be installed in the top two courses of blockwork. These bolts would protrude through these sills and be secured with a nut and a washer. Due to the stupidity of this specification by the architect and engineer, the builder was able to lobby them into approving the Simpson mud sill anchor MAB23. It's strange that after reviewing the cut sheet for these products, the architect and engineering firm would approve these, but here they are, embedded in the grout joints of our foundation. Just a cursory look at Simpson's cut sheet for these anchors would immediately disqualify them for use on our project. Simpson states the largest size sill plate that the anchors can secure is a 2x12, not the 4x6 sills present in our home. And with that said, the anchors lose all uplift resistance on anything bigger than a 2x6. Furthermore, Simpson does not recommend these anchors for replacement of a 3/4 inch anchor bolt, only for a 1/2 and a 5/8 inch anchor bolt. Upon contacting Simpson, they said the MAB23 could in no way be used as a substitute for a 3/4 inch anchor bolt, regardless of the spacing. So this anchor is completely disqualified for use in our project. But even so, let's explore a little further and see how these idiots couldn't even follow the installation instructions for an anchor they shouldn't have been using. Here is a close-up of the MAB anchor. Note the hook and channel design at the bottom, designed to secure the anchor in the grout. Here is Simpson's illustration showing the proper installation of the MAB23 anchor. It shows embedment into the grout fill of the core of the block up to the point where it separates in two legs, here clearly shown, going through the sill and being wrapped around the top and sides of the sill plate. In no way do they recommend any of the following installation techniques. First, installed between the grout joints of two blocks, and second, being flattened out underneath the sill to be later wrapped around the sill plate and nailed in. As a matter of fact, they give that installation the big no sign. Here are some add insult to injury photos. We won't even comment on the termite shield. Installed in the grout joint, one nail not even completely driven in. Too short to be bent up to the sill plate at all. And this is the best. Let's not even bother trying to bend it or nail it. More quality craftsmanship. So enough of this insulting their carpentry and basic reading skills. Let's take a look at the design parameters of these anchors and what they should have delivered in terms of uplift and parallel to plate load resistance. And then we'll do a visual exploration of how they actually perform as installed on our home. Properly installed, the anchor should yield 565 pounds of uplift resistance and 670 pounds of parallel to plate resistance. Following is a semi-real-world test of their performance. Here we have a mock-up of the sill assembly as built at our home. We have two MAB23 anchors, fully embedded into 2 cores deep grout. The legs then spread around the 4x6 sill and nailed into place. As we apply uplift force, you'll notice that the sill assembly immediately separates from the foundation. And at 240 psi, it has pulled the slack in the legs of the anchors taut. I guess this is why Simpson doesn't want the anchors folded underneath the sill, but rather for the anchor legs to go through the sill and be folded over the top. Now let's speed this up a bit and see where it fails. At 1450 psi, the nails hold, but the legs, due to the fact that they were allowed to stretch, break and fail. Here we see how the legs of the anchor are able to separate allowing the sill plate to lift away. And here we see how the legs eventually stretch and break under load. Or let's drop a dollop of cement on the anchors and call them embedded in the hollow cores. Again, we have a mock-up of the sill assembly as built at our home. We have two MAB 2-3 anchors, fully embedded into 2 cores deep of grout. The legs then spread around the 4x6 sill and nailed into place. Notice we apply a parallel force, how this style of installation allows for the sill to move along the foundation wall. At 240 psi, less than half of Simpson's specification, the sill assembly has moved 1.6 inches along the foundation. Once again, let's speed this up and see where it fails. So we see here, at 900 psi, the anchors break and fail. Now let's take a look at what would have happened had they used the improper anchors but installed them according to the manufacturer's directions. Here we have a mock-up of the sill assembly with the MAB 2-3 anchors fully embedded, with the legs of the anchors going through the sill plate and being bent around the top of the sill plate and then nailed. As you can see here, even though the anchors are not recommended for this type of installation, with the basic installation instructions followed, the anchoring system meets Simpson's quoted uplift capacity of 565 psi, and beyond that, allows for only a quarter of the separation distance between the sill and the foundation that was allowed by the improperly installed anchor. I like to call this stupidity compounded by incompetency. Here we have two photos depicting the fight that the Simpson anchors put up when installed properly.